You are totally awesome. Welcome to You're Totally Awesome, a podcast devoted to catching up with some of the amazing people around us and finding out what they've been up to lately. My name's Aaron, and today we're joined by writer, editor, director, creator of Ship Brown Students Say, Adam Pliskin. Thanks for joining us today, Adam.
Thanks for having me, Aaron.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So, Ship Brown Students, it's gone viral. It's gone absolutely viral. With how many hits did it have? Around 35,000?
Yeah, right now we're somewhere around 35,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And just tell us about that whole process about making that video.
Well, so, I was a fan of all the other ones, Shit Girls Say, Shit New Yorkers Say. And one day, when we got back from winter break, my friends and I were just sitting around, and we were like, we should do this. And so we started writing. We went out, we shot for like 2 or 3 days, and then we edited and put it out there.
What was your exact role? So did you do most of the writing, or did you do most of the directing?
Me and 5 or 6 other kids wrote it, and then I directed the thing, and I edited it with my friend Brian Kelly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. What exactly does, just out of pure curiosity, for my own selfish reasons, what does directing particularly entail?
That's the $1 million question.
Yeah, I'm always curious because I read like these TV shows bringing like a director per episode, while movies have like directors for the entire movie.
Right.
What is that exactly?
I mean, a director pretty much does anything and everything that's necessary to have a finished final product.
Okay.
So you're directing actors, you're choosing your shots, where you want the lighting to the way you want the lighting to be set up, and then you oversee post-production. Pretty much, it's like your baby, and you're the boss, and everyone's looking to you for answers, like whether it's the costume people, or the makeup people, or special effects. You make the decisions.
Where does the producer fit in all that?
Producers, well, there's different schools of thought, I guess, but and a lot of the time, a producer will actually find the project first. They'll come across a script that they like. They're like, okay, we want to make this. Now let's go find a director. Let's find a star. And that's like, once you have a script, a director, and a star, that's like called a package.
Got it.
And then you'll bring that to a studio, and you're like, hey, we got this package, blah blah blah. Are you interested? Do you want to give us money to make this movie?
That's cool. Wait, so for directing, how much leeway do you give actors when they're out there on stage or up there, on the scene?
I mean, there's also, again, different schools of thought. For me, I like to give actors, the room to create and to make their own characters.
Okay.
Like, first of all, me, for my sakes, I'm really most interested in comedy, at least right now. So when I make a comedy, I like to have a lot of room for improv, and I like to work with people who are able to improv. So I'll just we'll be on set and I'll be throwing out ideas like, what if you did it this way, blah blah blah. Like, let's shoot what's written first, and then we'll take a couple shots where you can just play around and have fun with it, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, cool.
And as long as we're moving in the right direction towards what needs to be done for the story, then, and as long as it's funny, then that's all that matters.
And how many takes usually do you go for these guys?
I like to shoot a lot of stuff just to cover my ass and
so your actors hate you pretty much.
I mean,
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Oh no, but seriously, there's guys like who David Fincher is.
Yeah.
Like, he directed The Social Network, and I don't know if you remember that first scene of The Social Network. Apparently, they shot that scene. They did 99 takes.
Are you serious?
Scene. Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And that's
who you aspire to be. 99 scene plus.
Yeah, I would have gone for the 100th on that one.
Okay, got it. Just push it one more.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's exhausting for actors.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you really get it right, and something about keeping on pushing within the scene. He's a perfectionist, and I would hope to be a perfectionist too. Yeah.
That's cool. So, do you find directing to be where you're drawn the most? I know comedy is kind of the genre you shoot for, but in terms of jobs, I mean, you edit these guys, you kind of produce, right? I mean, this is your idea. You edit, you direct. And you write even. I mean, what's your favorite?
It's hard to say. I mean, it's kind of selfish in a way, but I just like to have as much control as physically possible.
So you want to do everything.
So I kind of want to do everything. I mean, editing, I like editing, but it's kind of tedious. I would let someone else edit the movie as long as I was, standing over their shoulder the whole time.
So you're actually kidding. Okay.
Yeah, but I like writing. I like it all. Writing is really hard. Just that right now I'm in the middle of writing a script, a feature-length script.
What's the script called?
It's called Mischief Night. It's a comedy. It's about two high school rivals. One of them's like a hall monitor, kind of nerdy, takes himself too seriously character, and the other is like the king of the school. And Mischief Night is like the night before Halloween, where like kids, teepee houses and throw eggs and stuff like that. And so like that's
I swear. Okay.
So that's like the backdrop of the movie, and they're fighting it out for like control of their high school, pretty much.
Interesting. So going back real quick. So writing it has been really tough as we're going here.
Yeah.
But after you write it all. Do you have specific people in mind while you're writing the script? I
mean, personally, I don't, especially now at this stage, because I'm not a big Hollywood screenwriter, which hopefully one day I will be.
Yeah. Chip Brownstein says they got tons of hits. Yeah, what's up?
But yeah, I mean, there are people who will write and they're like, oh, I'm writing this part for Tom Cruise, and like I'll use like his tendencies and his mannerisms, and had that in mind when I'm writing this character.
So Tom Cruise, if you're listening, you got your next script lined up. Just by the way,
I don't think you'd be right.
He's watching though, so
he is watching.
He loves You're Totally Awesome. He actually told me.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I want to be awesome. Okay, cool. So you're trying the writing thing, but you like all components to it,
right?
And just tell me your story of how you got into all those parts of film and writing and directing and everything like that.
Well, I've always loved movies. I started making my own movies when I was around 10 or 11.
Jeez.
And
were you just given a camera and your mom was like, oh, go have fun?
I think the first thing I did was like, they used to have this Lego camera thing where it's like this little camera and you had Legos and you could do like stop motion with the Legos.
Yeah.
So that's how I started.
So it stems from Legos and then you drew the camera.
I think it stemmed from more movies, but it just happened to come out at the same time. But yeah, so like my brother is a year and a half younger than me, and we're both interested in film. So we would just make, silly, stupid little comedy movies with our friends at home.
Yeah.
And then I did some...
Precocious 10-year-olds, man.
Yeah. Well, as we progressed through high school, we would make, more complex, complicated stuff. And then, I got to Brown, and I just tried to immerse myself in the film community here.
So you knew you wanted to do it when you came?
I've known I wanted to do this, since I started doing it. And I've never wanted to do anything else.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever will. Yeah.
That's pretty spectacular. That's passion right there.
Yeah.
What about Brown? Like, was there a certain, tie-in with, we have Brown TV, we have, have you found them to be adequate sources for your passion, I guess?
Yes and no. Like, I love Brown. I'm not going to hate on Brown, but it's not a film school. Like, in a lot of ways, maybe I would have been better suited going to a USC or a Northwestern.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's definitely been adequate. I'm an MCM concentrator, so there's equipment that you can check out to make your own stuff. And what I think is good about it, actually, is it's kind of like a mirror of the real world, whereas you just got to go out and you got to do it. Like, no one's going to do it for you, no one's going to help you. So if you want to make a movie, go check out I'm going to make a movie.
Yeah.
Like, anybody who wants to do it should just do it.
There you go. Yeah, there's a little push there from Adam. And so it was that easy for Chip Brownstein to say?
Yeah, we're just like, all right, we're going to go out and shoot during this weekend and knock it out, and that's what we did. Yeah.
And so you've done a couple other films as well, and other work with BTV. Maybe give us some of your highlights from those experiences. Okay.
Well, I started out doing this BTV sitcom called Campus Liquors when I was a freshman and a sophomore, and that was really good because there were older kids who created it, and so I became good friends with them, and just like a really good environment to have fun.
You learned a lot.
I learned a lot. We shot in Spiritus, so it was just like free booze.
This is a local bar here, and of course Adam was not drinking because he was
I was
there hanging out.
Yeah. But that was a great experience. And then after during sophomore year, I started, going out on my own. I made a movie called Breathing Smoke, which is a stoner comedy love story, which I like a lot, actually.
And it's online as well.
It's online. It's on YouTube. You can search
check it out. We'll add that. It'll be on the blog post.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's funny.
It is.
And then I made a horror movie for a horror class I was in, and that's probably like the most work I've put into any one.
And you did the writing, the editing, the directing, everything for that too?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote it with a couple other people and edited it with one other person, but yeah, I directed it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and we put in like, I don't know, like over 100 hours, like making this stuff. Yeah, and it's like a 20-minute long movie.
Oh wow.
Yep.
And that's not online?
That's not online yet, but
okay.
hopefully soon it will be. Yeah.
Let's get on Adam's butt.
Yeah, I need to. That's my
put it out there.
Yeah.
And so, what's the process of finding actors like here at Browning, especially?
Well, for me, I mean, a lot of my stuff is just my friends who are willing to do it and who's around. But for the horror film, like, we had real auditions. Like, we put up stuff in Morning Mail and flyers and whatnot, and people came and we got some great actors.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see it, actually. So there's that. So you worked on those 2 projects. You did Chip Brown Suits. So it's like one a semester. Is pretty much the
right. That's my goal is to do, or was to do, one major project a semester. I've also, like, within those semesters, I've also made shorter, like 3 to 5 minute deals. But yeah, as long as I get like one major work in, I think I'm doing enough.
I mean, that's ambitious,
yeah.
Of course, and it's been really good so far. I mean,
yeah.
Going forward, do you want to? I mean, there's no semesters after we graduate,
right,
obviously.
Yeah,
are you? What's the plan? I mean, are you going to keep making movies, or what's?
I mean, I wish. The thing about making movies is that no one's going to pay you to make a movie until they pay you to make a movie. So, in a perfect world, I would write this script that I'm working on now, be really happy with it, and sell it.
Yeah.
But one, I don't know if I have enough connections in LA at the moment to do that, and 2, like, it's going to take a while to finish it. So I also need to find a job and get paid.
In the meantime, right?
But like, hopefully that job will be in the film industry, so I'll get paid and I'll also be able to make connections and hopefully have enough time to write on the side.
You want to talk about starting actors instead of starting director?
Yeah.
Trying to make ends meet. So you want to go out to LA and do this then?
Well, I initially thought I wanted to go to LA. Now I'm leaning more towards New York.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Just to start out, because that's like where I'm from.
Yeah.
And there are opportunities there. There's not as many as LA, but eventually I'm pretty certain I'll make it to LA.
Okay, got it. That's the long term.
Yeah.
That's exciting, man. So this is the general trajectory of an aspiring director, I guess, or an aspiring movie maker is more of what you are.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, the thing about making movies is that it's not like going to med school where you have these like definitive steps. Where movies, like, there's 1,000 different ways to make it happen.
So basically, Tom Cruise is going to see this,
right?
And then you're going to decide he's going to want to be on it, and he's going to make a blockbuster film.
Yeah, and then I'll be good to go. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks
for having me.
I appreciate it. Yeah.